Leonardo da Vinci, I mean, the name itself just screams genius, right? But you gotta wonder, how could one person be a master painter, a brilliant scientist, and a visionary inventor all at the same time? Well, in this explainer, we're gonna pull back the curtain on his masterpieces to uncover the secret method that fueled his incredible mind. And that really is the central question, isn't it? We love to put people in boxes. You're an artist or you're a scientist. Leonardo didn't just break those boxes, he pretty much acted like they never existed in the first place. So what was his secret?
And here's the thing, it wasn't some kind of magic or divine gift that let him master so many fields. No, it was a specific, unified approach to knowledge. A system, really, for observing, questioning, and understanding the world that connected absolutely everything he did.
To really get his method, we have to start with his core belief. For Leonardo, art and science weren't two different things. Not at all. They were two sides of the very same coin, essential partners in the big quest for truth.
Think of it like this. He saw art and science as two different languages trying to describe the exact same thing, the beautiful, complicated reality of the world around us. In his mind, you could never truly master one without deeply, deeply understanding the other. So let's look at a practical example. Say Leonardo wanted to paint a person with real, lifelike power and emotion. He didn't just start practicing his brushstrokes. Nope. His first step was pure science. That's right, he actually conducted dissections, which was a pretty controversial thing to do back then, all to understand exactly how muscles work, how bones connect. That scientific rigor is what lets him create figures that feel like they could move right off the canvas. He had to understand the machine before he could paint its surface. Or, think about the light in his paintings, that soft, almost dreamlike glow. That's not just him being a good painter. It's the result of an intense obsession with how our eyes actually perceive the world. He wanted to paint not just things, but the very air between those things. So what did he do? He dove headfirst into studying optics. He watched how light spreads through the atmosphere, how it bounces off of different surfaces, and this scientific knowledge directly led to his most famous artistic techniques, like sfumato, that's the soft, hazy edges, and chiaroscuro, this super dramatic use of light and shadow. So how did he actually do all this? How did he practice this unified vision every day? The answer is hiding in plain sight, in his most personal creations, his notebooks. And trust me, these weren't just diaries. They were the active, buzzing workshop of his mind. Now, this quote here tells you everything you need to know about his philosophy. In an age where you were just supposed to believe what you were told, Leonardo put experience first. He believed truth came from getting your hands dirty, from observing and testing things for yourself. Honestly, this was a totally radical idea, and it was the engine that drove everything. And this breaks his process down beautifully. It was basically a 4-step loop, over and over again. First, observe everything with this relentless curiosity. From the way water swirls in a drain to how a bird's wings work. Then, question every single assumption about it. Next, experiment. Actually test your ideas out. And finally, and this is so important, record everything. For him, drawing wasn't just to make pretty pictures. It was a tool for discovery, a way of thinking on paper. Okay, so we've got the theory. Art and science are connected through this intense method of observation and experimentation. So now, let's look for the proof. Let's connect this method directly to his most famous artworks. Let's start with the Mona Lisa. That famous, hazy, almost otherworldly quality? That's a direct result of his study of optics, applied as his sfumato technique. And that mysterious smile that seems to change every time you look at it? It's not magic. It's his deep anatomical knowledge of every tiny muscle in the human face. Even that weirdly alien-looking background, that comes from his detailed geological studies of rock formations and landscapes. Or take a look at The Last Supper. Its power comes from the exact same fusion. That perfect illusion of a three-dimensional room, that's a masterful application of the pure mathematics of linear perspective. The incredible psychological drama. Look, each apostle is reacting in a totally unique way. That comes from his deep study of human emotion and how our bodies express it. He even experimented with the chemistry of paint, trying an oil tempera mix on dry plaster to get more detail, which famously is why the painting started to fall apart. But hey, he was pushing boundaries. And that right there, that is the crucial point. Leonardo's masterpieces are what they are because he didn't just copy the surface of the world. He was obsessed with understanding the underlying rules, the physics of light, the biology of a body, the math of space, and then he painted that understanding. Now, this way of thinking didn't just create great art. It created a whole new ideal for what a person could aspire to be. And it's a legacy that is, believe it or not, still incredibly relevant more than 500 years later. He became the ultimate embodiment of this Renaissance ideal, the uomo universal, or the universal man. It's this idea that a person could and should strive for excellence across all fields of knowledge: art, science, philosophy, inventing, you name it. Leonardo wasn't just an example of it, he was the definition. And his impact really is timeless. He championed this early version of the scientific method, putting experience above everything. He showed us that all knowledge is connected, that the way water swirls might actually teach you something about the braids in a woman's hair. And maybe most importantly for us today, he proved that real game-changing innovation doesn't happen in a neat little box. It happens at the messy intersection where different disciplines crash into each other. So I guess that leaves us with a final question for our own time. We live in an age of hyper-specialization, where we're often forced to pick a lane. You're an artist or you're a scientist. And in gaining all that specialized knowledge, you just have to wonder, what have we lost from Leonardo's powerful, unified vision of the world?